Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Well, if you love Game 7s, we got another one. Washington at Tampa.
That's right.
And as you say, it doesn't make any difference if you're on the road in that league.
You survive the first 5 minutes, it's let's go here, boys. Did you see who's running the New York Islanders at age 75?
No.
Lou Lamoriello.
Really?
You know what that means, don't you? Jacques could be back.
It could be.
He's lose his guy.
Yep.
He brought him back to New Jersey after he left here. And, Jacques got to be sick of sitting on the boat in Tampa, doesn't he? Smoking cigars.
He's in Sarasota.
He's a consultant for Toronto. He's been that.
He is one of the guys.
He's one of the guy.
Kevin Falsness, who does the pregame show on the Wild games, had a 30-minuter with Jock early this season, and I heard the first segment of it. I was in the car one day to see what the score was, and Falsness had the interview with Jock, and it was 10, 12 minutes, and then he said part 2 tomorrow. I didn't hear it, and the next game I didn't hear it, but it was great. It was great.
Your Twins have 3 outs left to get a victory.
That's okay. Gardy, you don't want Gardy to come in here and get swept. He's too good a guy to come in here and get swept.
Wouldn't bother me. Did you have to talk to him today?
No, I didn't get up in time. I had other stuff to do. You know what? They're coming back 2 other times. Yeah. I'll go see Gardy. Yeah. What the heck? I didn't get over there, no. But I should have, but it was 9:30 and I had other stuff to do. Got a big hole in the backyard.
Sinkhole?
Well, we took out a big old tree, the bush tree that the wife insisted was dead from all the winter kill. I thought if we got a little rain, it might come back, but we pulled her out, and then it sat there for 2 weeks, and so I had to fret about the hole for a while.
Well, you got to get a guy.
That's what I kept telling her. We need a guy.
Is the dead tree just laying on the ground back there?
No. Somebody pulled them out. We had the stuff removed, but we haven't replaced it.
So now there's just a hole where the tree used to be.
A hole there,
yes. And you're fretting about it.
Yeah, I fret.
Yeah.
What are you going to fill it with?
A hole.
Yeah.
Dirt's fine. I don't care. I just want the hole covered.
Hey, cut your garbage guy out and start your own landfill. Start charging for people to bring it up.
Well, the hole is where the guy was cutting in and hit the pool pipeline.
Ooh.
And
you don't want to do that.
But they managed to put it back together pretty easily, but the hole's been sitting there ever since. And I don't like to wake up in the morning, look out there, and have a hole. Let's
you want
do something here.
It's an eyesore.
I don't say do it. I say get a guy. I got other stuff to do.
Yeah,
get a guy.
I think so.
There's a million guy.
They got
Just
guys.
look.
There's a lot of guys.
I know one of the guy. Right.
Who?
Jacques. He's
Jack's
one of the guys.
He's one of the guys. Well, Jack wouldn't put up with a hole in the backyard.
He would call somebody right away.
He
would call right away.
That's right. Yeah. And anyway, we had that to argue about for a while this morning. The need to fill the hole. It's Memorial Day weekend. The pool is now running. The heat is going, and we got a big hole back there.
Yeah. You can turn off the heat because it's going to be about 90.
Well, it automatically shuts off with Cantina.
You got the automatic heater?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is
after many years of steam rising up off of the pool in the morning hours.
This is 5 or 6, probably.
You're due for another $1,000 dive.
Well, we had $2,700 introduction with this heater. That's
a $2,700 dive.
It went out last year at the end of the year, and I said, let's not make it survive the winter. Let's just put it in the spring. Right. But, yeah. So anyway. So we got off to a $2,700 start this year.
The grandkids dig the pool, though.
They haven't even been there yet.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah,
it
they
hasn't
better
been
come
warm enough
over.
yet.
I know. But they better get over Memorial Day weekend to get that thing going, man.
What is your mower situation this year? Are you?
We got
okay?
one still sitting
You got one
there.
sitting in storage just in case.
Hasn't started in 10, 12 years, but it's sitting there just in case.
So
just in case someday I wake up and say, boy, I'd really like to mow the lawn
I'm
today.
gonna cut the grass today.
I can, but then you go out and start it, and then it won't start, and then I'd have to go buy a new one.
The gas is probably like an orange sludge by now, huh? The
I
gas.
found a product that is not gas, but it works like gas.
What?
And
For
it never,
the mower?
yeah, it never clogs up.
Wow.
Carburetors.
I want to know because
The name of it is escaping me.
okay. Well, you text it to me.
True
tonight.
Fuel, maybe
True Fuel.
TRU.
Okay.
True Fuel.
So is Gabe going to follow in his brother's footsteps and start lawn service?
He is not. He has not planned on
He has not
mow and
shown
blow.
that ambition.
Mow and blow has not been the business that he has started. That won't. He's kind of. He was a good starter worker, and now he's kind of tailed off a little bit, where he's not as interested in the machinery as he wants to trap shoot.
What do you think of the NFL's new kneeling policy?
These guys can waste more time doing nothing than anybody of all time.
Well, plus players can just wait in the locker room if they want.
Yeah, and then they can run out and get booed by everybody
Yeah.
when they run out.
Yeah.
People will be watching them. But then the team, they say the team can find them if they want to. It's another case.
So it's not a league policy. It's up to the team.
No, so
No,
here's
the
what Johnny
team
had
gets
explained
fined.
it.
The team gets fined
Yes.
if somebody kneels, and then they can turn around and reverse.
And then the team can decide whether they will assess a fine to that player.
But what we don't know is if Jerry Jones can tell all his players that they have to be out there and lined up, or that if they're not going to have the option to stay in the locker room.
What would the amount of the fine be?
They have not told us.
Well, let's say it's 10 grand.
not for the team. It'll be more than that.
Okay, let's
For
say
the
it's
player,
25 grand.
Let's say it's 10 grand for the player.
No.
Okay,
There is
25
no.
grand.
You just got done telling me there is no fine for a player.
But the
team gets fined, and then the team can decide
fine
if
the
they'll
player.
assign that fine to the player.
Or fine the players, yes.
Okay, so let's say it's 25 grand.
Yeah.
You take a knee, that's a costly knee. If the team decides, hey, pal, you're paying the 25 grand.
Yes.
Yeah.
But here's my question as to repeat. What if there's 5 Cowboys who say we're staying in the locker room and Jerry Jones is Mr. and Jerry Jones is still getting heat in Texas because these guys aren't all out there. And they're still showing the story is going to be they're still showing disrespect by staying in the locker room. And once again, the AP stories next year will tell us who came out of the locker, who stayed in the locker room, right?
He's 4 or 5 for anthem appearances or whatever.
Yeah, last year it was who knelt down, who sat down. They all had to report that. This year it'll be who stayed in the locker room. Now, maybe you can hire a guy who looks like you
Right.
to run out there.
Boy, that would be that'd be a good business to be in, wouldn't it?
And then you come out. It's so silly. But they will blackball you. I mean, there is no doubt this Eric Reed was a good defensive lineman. He hasn't gotten a job. Kaepernick hadn't gotten a job. They will blackball you if they decide to.
Well, they don't want to threaten the purchase they have on the American culture. They own it. They don't want that threatened. And if they put their finger into the wind and sense that people want these players,
that's what happened.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Trump's caused all this.
Yeah.
Trump got his crew fired up for this. Is this game over, by the
Yes.
way?
Yeah,
Our
the
boys?
Twins lost.
They
4-1.
made rapid use of rapid service of us in the bottom of the ninth. Then, huh? Boom, boom, boom. Oh well, what the hell? They're off tomorrow, and I got a hunch Taylor Rogers, the lefty, will not accompany them on that trip. He's been terrible this year. I think they'll probably send him back.
Now they're at Seattle over the weekend.
Yes.
Will they leave tomorrow or tonight?
Tomorrow. No, wait. Did I hear tonight? Why? No, they'll leave tomorrow. Why the hell would they leave tonight?
Right. All right. Just a moment.
Let me repeat my oft-held theory, by the way, on the NFL.
Yeah.
They love to make major issues out of things such as this, and to the players, and they like to make major issues out of Goodell's ability to fine you, and all these other things. These are all smoke screens to have things to concede to the players to some degree, to keep them from trying to go get their money back when they negotiate the next time. It's all about money. It's all about creating the possibility of these small victories in negotiations. They stole 7% from the players last time. Today, Brian Robinson, yesterday, a very noble Viking, right?
Okay.
Making the modest sum of 3-point-some million for his career there. A very good player. They took $2.3 million away from him.
Why?
And made him play for the minimum next year because he's 35 years old.
Well,
and they told him you got two choices: you're gone, or you take.
Wilfs are cheap. Wilfs are cheap.
They are cheap.
well, could he have signed with another team?
Thieves. Probably not. I mean, maybe he might have gotten a job, but they would have only offered him the minimum. So they, the fact that not. I mean, take a look around, you idiots. Phil Hughes is basically cooked, and he's going to get his $22 million. Brian Robinson is still playing, and they're going to steal 2/3 of his money.
That's something.
And you guys let them do it. You dummies.
Who's to blame for that?
NFL
the
Players
for
Association.
signing all these deals.
Who was the guy at the time?
Well, here's their problem. The careers are so short that these guys say, man, I can't afford to sit out a year. Baseball, they can sit out a year.
Right.
They can't afford to sit out a year, so they can't win a strike unless they're willing to do it. Unless they're willing to shut these boys down.
Wow.
Which they have done.
But never, they did a couple of times.
Bring in the scabs.
In the 70s? Wasn't it in the 70s?
Bucky Scribner.
The first time where they only played 7 games was 82, right? 82?
Something
82.
like that, yeah.
82, they only played 9 games. But that was when they were basically trying to get some form of free agency. That was the battle. They were trying to get something back. That was Ed Garvey. But and then the other time was 87 was when they had the scabs for 3 games. Yeah, played.
Was that where we got Bucky?
Bucky Scribner.
Bucky died. He died from brain cancer September 16th, 2017. I didn't know that.
Who's Bucky Scribner?
He was the punter for the Vikings.
I believe we gave an ode to Bucky on the show one day. Didn't
did
we?
we?
I think we did. Yes, I think we did.
He played for the Pack from 83 to 84.
Did he punt for the replacement fellas? Then?
Yeah, 87 to 89 he played for the Vikings.
But did he punt in the 3 games that were played by the replament guys in 87?
I'll look him up.
That's the question. I don't think he did.
Are the Vikings in camp right now?
No, these are voluntary OTAs.
What's OTA mean?
Optional
Training?
No, what is it?
Optional team activities.
Optional team activities.
Yeah. And
well, aren't they undergoing those right now?
Yes, but we get big turnout. Our guys show up.
Yeah.
Gronkowski and Brady haven't showed up in New England.
Really?
And Aaron Donald, who's the best defensive player in the league, hasn't showed up with the LA Rams. But we only find out who's really serious about holding out is if they don't show up for the mini camp, because that's mandatory.
Well, Gronkowski, the word on the street is, might retire.
But he said he was going to play again, but maybe he won't. I don't
But he's got people trying to convince him to preserve whatever minimal brain cells he has left.
After the cheap hit that he took in the Super Bowl.
Oh, he took a terrible
which
hit.
was not penalized. Was that penalized in the Super Bowl when he got hit in the head?
I don't recall. But I've got your Bucky Scribner information here. The scab replacement team, so they combined the stats on the Pro Football Reference website, but Coleman was still on the team and punted in 9 games, and Bucky punted in 4. So I'm going to assume that he
Bucky
was.
punted in 3.
Because they played
they
3.
played 15 games, though.
That's what I'm saying. They played the 3 replacement games in 1987. They played
15 games. You got 9 and 4. That's 13.
And the Vikings were 8-7 in the 87 season.
Yes, but they were 0-3 in the replacement games. Yes. Anyway, you're missing 2 games there.
And there's a third punter that had 2 games played. That guy's name is Dave Bruno.
Okay, Dave was definitely a replacement player, but I don't know. Bucky must have punted in at least one of those games then.
Coleman was 9 games. Mm-hmm. Bucky was 4. Mm-hmm. Dave Bruno was 2. Mm-hmm. And Dale Dawson, he was a kicker.
Okay, so now we go from OTAs to a mini camp.
Yes.
When is the mini camp?
The mini camp is for about 4 days, and I don't know when it is. Sometime in June, I guess.
And then that's followed by training camp.
Well, then you get about a month off, about a month or 5 weeks off. Yeah. But they aren't able to work them as hard as they aren't able to get them out there in the middle of February and keep them like they did for a while. Remember when Bud, basically Mike Lynn had to plead with Bud to have a 2.5-day mini camp because everybody else had it and they were getting pub around the league, and Bud wouldn't do it.
Had no interest in it.
Bud wouldn't do it. So finally, they'd have a dinner on Wednesday night. They'd run out there and run a few laps Thursday and Friday. They'd have a morning something and go home. Bud would be up fishing at the cabin. Bud would be fishing at the cabin by 1 o'clock on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Bud was, I think they had to be the last team to approve a mini camp, and only because Lynn basically got down on his knees and begged Bud to let him have a mini camp.
Speaking of Bud, we succeeded in giving him no pub for his latest garage sale.
How'd he do, by the way?
Do we know if he even had it?
Oh, yeah. Hell yes.
Where's he finding stuff? He's got to be living in an empty house.
I think they got a little factory that makes stuff.
Yeah. You know what he does? Bud goes to garage sales and buys stuff, and then he has his own garage sale to sell it.
Right. He's go over at Goodwill, and he's at the free store. And
well, I'm a good friend of the Bud handler as far as the garage sales concerned. So I'll have to text him one of these days and find out how we did this year.
Well, who's the handler? Do we know him?
I know him, but I don't want to reveal it publicly. I know him very well.
The handler, huh?
Sid is taking care of Bud?
No.
I'm just kidding.
No. You know, I found out something today.
All right.
I wrote a column for tomorrow on Rob Fornacier, who's a Gopher baseball assistant for 33 years. He's going to retire after this year. John Anderson, his first 4 years as Gopher baseball coach. Siebert died in 1978. George Thomas replaced him. He was already the head of the Williams Fund. So they gave him both jobs and made baseball a part-time job. John Anderson's first 4 years as baseball coach, 82 to 85, he worked at Emory Air Freight.
Really?
Because it was a part-time job.
Really?
Yes. And it wasn't until 85 that they made it a full-time job again.
Did they ever get lights on their field?
Oh, yeah, Siebert Field.
Yeah.
The new, you got to go over and see the new.
I want to see a game there.
Pat just pointed to it over there. Yeah, they got lights right over there. See?
Right here.
You can see it right there.
Turn the sun down so we can see the lights, please.
Sports Talk will be back shortly, but now thanks to our great friends in Owatonna, Minnesota at Federated Insurance, where it's their business to protect your business, and nobody does that better than Federated. It's Bruce Vail from the Wall Street Journal and Your Money Now.
And we had a little bit of a surprise today. Stocks erased early losses to close higher after the minutes from the most recent Federal Reserve Board meeting suggested officials were not overly worried about inflation. That helped send the Dow Jones Industrial Average up 52 points to 24,886. The NASDAQ Composite rose 47 points, and the S&P 500 gained 8. 3 new bidders have stepped in with offers to buy the New England Confectionery Company, the maker of Conversation Hearts, Sky Bars, Clark Bars, and Necco Wafers. There are now 4 bidders for Necco at a bankruptcy auction in Boston. The 3 new bidders have all indicated they will keep Necco operating at its current location in Revere, Massachusetts, at least through the fall. The NFL has made changes to its national anthem policy in a bid to quell a controversy that has rattled the league for 2 years. Under a new policy approved by the owners, players can elect to stay in the locker room until after the national anthem, but they can be fined if they are on the field during the anthem and don't stand and show respect for the flag. I'm Bruce Vail with Your Money Now on 1500 ESPN.
Okay, thank you very much, Bruce. Away you go. We'll chat again tomorrow, and let's look at traffic here. This report sponsored by Firestone Complete Auto Care, and it looks like both directions of 494 stacked up approaching France Avenue on the legendary Bloomington Strip, westbound jamming at 77, eastbound bad 169 over to France. If you're rolling between the downtowns, not a bad drive, westbound at 13. Oh, and look at this, eastbound also 13 minutes. Same thing for westbound 694, 35W to Highway 100, a 13-minute drive. Firestone Complete Auto Care, keeping cars running newer, longer. Whatever you drive a Firestone.
Sioux Community.
Here's John Haidt.
Don't you like Smashing Pumpkins?
Thank you, Joe. It's cloudy.
I like their music. I don't like his voice.
I was in such a good mood.
Kenny didn't even like
as little as 10 minutes ago. I was in a really, really good mood.
I couldn't even cheer him up with Iraqi jumping jacks. When the Iraqi soldiers are trying to do jumping jacks,
You got to show that one to
can't.
Patrick.
Yeah, he'd get a kick out
Rookie
of it.
stumbled upon a video. It's now posted to 1500ESPN.com. They're trying to teach the Iraqi army how to do jumping jacks in the field.
Doesn't really work.
And this guy, he can't quite coordinate the
clap.
Yeah, so he's going like this and has absolutely no clue.
And no wonder we beat him.
When with guns.
It's cloudy and 78 degrees. Twins lose to the Tigers 4-1 the final. The Twins are now off tomorrow. They will open a weekend series against Seattle on Friday.
How many
evening on
hits
the road.
did the boys mace today? About four?
Five, I think. Eddie Rosario was 3 for 4. He had 3 of them, so I think 5 total.
Damn, he's good.
Open a series against Seattle Friday and then move on to Kansas City after that 3-game series.
John?
Yes.
I predict they will get 2 hits or less on Friday night.
Who's pitching for
Paxton.
Seattle? Oh, yeah.
We got to bring that eagle with us.
Let
him attack him again.
We got to take the bird out of the cage. Wow, wow.
I have one question. It's a Crabby Coffee Shop question. I just basically knocked over Kenny's cherished mug of coffee.
This is
good coffee.
This isn't the garbage we brew up here. This is a top shelf that I bring
And
from
he knocked
home.
it over.
How do we handle spills? And I apologize, but how do we handle spills at the Krabby Coffee Shop? What is...
You spill it, you clean it up.
Well, I think Patrick
you're
You just
banned.
handed a dirty
And you're
rag.
banned.
Clean it up.
Patrick tweeted out a photo of, I believe, a candidate for the new concierge department for the Krabby Coffee Shop yesterday afternoon.
Yeah,
The former first baseman.
yeah. Herbie laying on the ground going,
As a matter of fact, Patrick, I've collected throughout the years a number of celebrity photos where they're all flipping off the camera, and I'm thinking we could decorate the entire place
I've
with
already
that.
got it. I told you.
No, you're not involved in this.
I already told you.
No,
I got the
you're a
picture.
thief.
Got the
You're
picture.
a thief.
I got the picture of the gorilla giving it.
yeah.
Oh, that's one
Johnny
of them.
Cash.
And then we have Johnny Cash. We have, what's her name that was in Star Wars?
How can I be a
Carrie
thief when
Fisher?
the whole
Carrie
thing came
Fisher.
up on this show?
But I looked it up, Kenny. Established, I believe, July of 2014.
That was an idiot stealing our. That was a
No. We're a year ahead of the guy trying to steal our deal. The picture of you and I giving the
Such?
finger to the camera is July 2014. No, there's some guy out there with that's using it too.
Yeah.
But a year later.
You can also, as long as you encase it in sturdy plastic, you can have the wax hand that, remember, I gave you a couple years ago. I said I've always wanted the red hand I gave you that was doing this. So I've always wanted to give you this.
We can call that the Herbeck.
Patrick, I've been told our very angry legal team is working on this. They're going to resolve this.
All right. Hey, speaking of Herbeck, I watched Brockmeyer finally had a good episode this week, the last one. Did you see the last one?
I think
It
the
was
last.
okay.
I really liked the last two. The first few were just so dark.
I did
for
not
me.
like 3, but 4 was good.
The one where
His dead father was good.
his dead father, and then the one where him and who's the Dominican player?
Yeah.
Where they were standing back to back on the pitcher's mound. You remember that
Yeah,
one?
yes, right,
Taking
yeah.
care of business.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty funny.
I don't know. Well, anyway,
I disagree.
I thought the dead father one was because his father left him a letter on his deathbed, and basically started off saying, "I never hated children until I met you."
Wow. Okay. And then Amanda Peet is making her reappearance next week.
Yeah. Okay.
News notes from today. I have bog news, that 4-acre bog.
Oh, yeah.
Which broke off from the east shore of North Long Lake near Brainerd. Still floating just off the shoreline of the lake's Legionville School Patrol Safety Camp while they were cutting the bog into even smaller pieces today. North Long Lake Association President Bill Schmidt said another effort to move those pieces will be undertaken tomorrow. Last week, volunteers from the North Long Lake Association and the American Legion tied the bog to boats, tried towing it away. That didn't work.
I gave the solution.
This is like watching
Dynamite.
Well, dynamite's one, but you ever see those videos of the helicopters with the saws on the side? They go and trim pine trees for power lines.
No.
You you cut that thing up like a pizza. You get a helicopter with that big saw on it and just
That sounds like an awful idea.
That's okay. I get what
You
you're
better
saying
be
now.
a good pilot, though. You got to get a little low
all
on the water.
that water spraying up, that's not going to wreak havoc on anything.
Hey,
When you originally said it, I missed the part about the saw. I was mocking you because I thought you were going to say tilt it and have the blade cut it.
No.
Oh, okay. That's why I ripped
saw.
you. Jesus. Okay. I got it.
Royce's right. Blow that thing up.
yeah. What's it
wrong
made
with you?
out of? Just
wood,
mulch
Bog
and
stuff.
grass, and stuff.
It's isn't it cattails? Isn't it just a
everything.
cat? It's a cattail bog, isn't it?
It's a bog.
Everything that grows
Kind
there.
of mushy.
Yeah.
Well, didn't the LD say you can stand on it?
Oh, yeah. You got
Put up a
trees growing
house?
on it.
Sun Country Airlines is remodeling the interior of all of its airplanes, a capacity boosting step, they say, and a visible change in the airline's.
You know what that means, Johnny?
Huh?
What did they call it? Capacity what?
Upgrade, right? Capacity boosting
Thinner
step.
seats.
That means smaller.
Yep.
Well, not only that, first class will disappear.
Yes, I knew
and
that.
seats will become slimmer in profile.
I don't
and
know why
updated
you people fly that cruddy airline. Oh my
outlets
God!
will be added.
Oh, Jesus! You all brag. "Oh, I only paid $80. Well, geez, you got punched in the face the whole way there.
Sun Country.
Bathrooms don't work.
No more free cheeseburgers.
Jeez, you guys, just spend money and go on a real airline. Word.
As
I'm
Patrick
going to have to
said,
ask my friend at the airport how he feels, okay?
as Patrick said, Sun Country will install slimline seats similar to those
That's a
seen in
euphemism for being miserable.
economy class on other.
Yeah, like that
U.S.
airline wasn't
airlines.
already miserable.
Yeah, but that's you guys are thinking that you're assuming anyway that they're going to even bring you back, like those people they left in Mexico.
Was that Sun Country?
Yep.
Yeah, that was Sun Country.
Yes, it was.
They don't have a plane.
I'm surprised they have a jetway to get from the airplane onto the terminal. They don't just open the door and make you get on a stepladder.
Don't give them any ideas.
Wait, we could save $1?
Jake, I'm sorry. Jake, the Rochester wild turkey who's been looking for a partner during the morning commute, shot and killed by police yesterday. While he was chasing a kid on a bicycle.
Okay.
Oh,
Rochester Police.
it's a turkey.
Rochester Police Interim Chief John Sherwin said his office has gotten 2 to 3 calls about Jake over the last month, saying
Kids are soft.
he's creating traffic problems, causing accidents almost, and is very aggressive.
So as long as it's moving and breathing, Jake's interested.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
One of those guys, like
Yeah.
Chris
Evil.
Reavers in college.
He will bleep anything.
Well, is that peacock still on the loose? What if you
Where was
combine
that
the
at?
peacock with the
Ooh,
turkey?
that'd be a nice
That'd
looking
be some
bird, man.
Crazy looking bird.
Well, I'm trying to make
That'd
up
be a
names,
crazy
but you have to be
bird, wouldn't it?
very careful.
John, is there video of the
Yeah, turducken.
euthanizing of the turkey?
Not that I saw.
Okay.
I did not see. I just saw the story.
I was just hoping it would go viral like the groundhog
You,
or the whatever it was that got shot.
yeah, I think it was a groundhog. Police chief here says he was chasing a kid on a bike, so that's why they responded. And they wanted to capture Jake and relocate him. Didn't work. He was too aggressive.
You know, in Fulda, Minnesota, when I got bit in the face by the dog, you know what the cop said?
What?
You better bike faster, buddy. They ain't shooting no dog.
No.
Not unless it's chasing deer.
North Dakota has a record for.
Wait, what happened in that story? How did you get bit in the face if you're on a bike?
I wasn't that old, and he was a big dog that could jump. Got me
Okay.
You know what we
in the
found out? Pat was the slowest.
Right. Yeah, right. You only have to be second slowest, Pat.
My friends were faster biker riders than me. So
Wait up! Why are you riding so fast?
You're lucky you got your eye.
North Dakota's record for largest walleye caught by a recreational angler has stood for almost 60 years. It was beaten last Friday by Neil Lear.
By Richard Royce.
Is this big for a walleye? 15 pounds?
That is
Yes.
a big
13 ounces.
What lake?
With Lake Sakakawea, I'll say.
No. It was on the Missouri River near Fox Island's boat ramp, which is in Bismarck, basically.
I didn't know walleyes were in rivers.
Oh, yeah. Isn't Sakakawea just a reservoir from Missouri River, though, Johnny?
It's
Up there, but yeah.
It's gigantic.
But it's created by the river, I think.
It was originally, yes. But it's well, Joe and I looked it up one day. Remember, Joe?
Yeah, is it a recreational lake?
Yes, but it's it was bigger than we looked it up. It was bigger than Mille Lacs, I thought.
Lake Sakakawea is formed by the Ice Harbor Dam on the Snake River. It stretches from there upstream to the lower Monumental Dam. It is named for. Okay, we know what it's named for.
See if you can get the acreage when we come back.
Got it.
Is this the Swampers, John?
No, it's not the Swampers. It's the band.
It is?
Yeah, it's Skinner.
Swampers didn't record this?
Leonard Skinner.
The Swampers didn't record this.
No, they didn't play on the
But they give a
Skinner
nod
stuff.
to the Swampers
in the song, sure. But it's Leonard Skinner playing the song.
Thank you.
Where do they say the Swampers?
What now?
I don't know. Do what now?
John Height.
What?
Hi there, how are you?
Well, desperate for news.
What do you got for acreage on that lake there, Rook? So Joe knows.
307,000.
That's 3 Leech Lakes.
That's pretty big. 480 square miles, 1,240 kilometers.
Do they got themselves a bog?
Water volume, 23,800,000.
Yeah, they actually flooded some cities while they were making that. They obviously they got all the people out and then paid them for their houses, etc., and flooded cities.
Red Mike Golf Course is hard by the shores of Lake Sakakawea.
Update, remember the story where they wanted to set the record for the world's biggest orgy?
Oh, yeah.
No, I missed that.
No, you were here.
Who said that?
By poundage or by potties?
Whoa.
I think by poundage.
by people. Remember?
Oh,
Numbers of people. Okay.
You remember 1,000. Patrick, you had a lot to say about this originally. You don't remember the story?
No, hell no.
Okay.
because I was worried because I've got a couple of kids that are going to Las Vegas pretty soon for
Yeah,
their 21st
I remember
birthday.
that story. Sure,
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
While the group hoping to crush the Guinness record for the world's largest recorded orgy is scrambling to find a new place to hold the event.
Oh, no.
After the Las Vegas hotel they planned to host it pulled out. Thank you, Rook. The event, called Sin City 8, was slated to occur June 2nd at the Embassy Suites in Vegas,
Embassy Suites. That isn't big enough to hold an orgy.
but it appears
How do you know?
Well, they were going to hold it in the ballroom.
But it appears the hotel wasn't aware of what it got itself into.
I think
Late
it was
on that.
Caesar's Palace or something like that.
Yeah. The
Embassies.
Palms, the all-new Palms.
Well, Kenny was going to be gone for a couple of days. He was going to be selling T-shirts. Make yourself useful was what his. He was going to be selling those right outside.
Just go rent a gymnasium, Let's go.
The Embassy Suites
matter.
said in a statement, "We've reached an agreement with the group. Guests of the group are welcome to stay at our hotel, but no events of any kind associated with Sin City 8 will take place at the Embassy Suites. When we became fully aware of the nature of the functions intended to be held at the hotel, we advised the group the events were not consistent with the standards and environment we support and consequently will not be permitted to take place at our property.
I own a farm with acreage close to a dying town.
We got Maxie Asper over here.
I think they would love the pub and the influx of cash.
So there currently is a Guinness record for the world's largest orgy.
The current record?
500.
Japan. That's correct, Kenny. 500 people simultaneously having sex. It happened in Japan. And,
well, these can't
That's
last
right.
that long, can they?
I remember quipping that the Japanese had an advantage because they're smaller for the most part. So,
So what do they take? About an hour?
I don't know, Joe.
Well, it depends upon what you're trying to accomplish.
I guess.
When I was a kid, it took 5 minutes, but now it's around an hour. Yeah.
According to Sin City 8's website, the hotel was sold out due to the event, but they say tickets are still available as they try to figure out where to hold the event.
I'm telling you, Chris, age.
I know.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm almost.
Oh, why did you have to say something? Now I got to start over.
Why did you have to say something?
Don't talk.
A tractor trailer made a mess when it rolled over in Washington State, dumping 40,000 pounds of chicken feathers across Interstate 5.
Huh.
I brought this story in only because it reminded me of the old puzzler. What weighs more, 40,000 pounds of chicken feathers or 40,000 pounds of steel?
That's
weigh the
that's
same.
Fantastic
Weigh the
question,
same.
Joe.
Thank you. The driver fell asleep at the wheel, lost control. The truck
Wonder
was
what the feathers were going to be used for.
well.
my
Funny
question.
you should ask.
Pillows.
The truck was hauling the feathers from a poultry factory to a rendering company in Vancouver. The Canadian company recycles animal byproducts into ingredients for items including pet feed and soap.
Huh.
So,
I hope they're
Chicken
not
feathers.
feeding feathers to the dogs or something.
well, maybe it goes in your soap. I don't know. All right. American babies were given 29,910 distinct names last year. Of those, 1,100 were brand new ones that hadn't appeared.
Way to go, 1,100 new ones.
Brand new.
Hadn't appeared in the data before the data started being
Get
collected.
the horn ready, Rook.
They're almost bizarre enough that, there's no reason to even mess with them. But the biggest new name, Camreigh, which would be Camry.
Camry, okay. All right.
91 times.
Holy cow.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
Not
about-
a name.
How about equinamianus? Equinaminus.
I did not see that one on the list.
That's 17, 18 years ago, or 20 years ago.
Yeah. And all the names are, for instance, there's Tashmara, Cashton, Taylor, Teylie, Cassian, Kior, Knox Lee. So they're not, they're all bizarre
They're all
enough.
doodle. They're all made up.
We're done with Gert and Ruth.
We need more discipline from the people accepting birth certificates.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Veto?
Throw
Can
it
they
back.
veto?
Throw it back.
The name Nazi?
Try
No
it
name
again.
for you.
Try it out again. Try it
What
again.
was
Try
Ruth?
it again.
Pat, what was the name last night? The kid's name on Brockmire last night. Harry, what was
Oh,
it?
Harry,
I can't remember now.
Godballs or something
Yeah.
like that.
Go Glasscock.
Harry
Yeah,
Glasscock.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he's a kid. Go with Harold.
Go with Harold.
Go
Go
with
with
Harold. Yeah.
Students and staff members evacuated from a North Carolina high school on Wednesday after an unknown odor was reported in the area. The smell, which students reportedly claimed caused their eyes to tear up and their throats to burn, was apparently, according to the fire department, due to a clogged toilet at the school.
Yeah, I can sympathize with them.
Hazmat teams, which investigated the incident, found nothing hazardous, saying the source was the clogged toilet. The air quality incident occurred after a maintenance worker plunged a toilet. Some students had to be treated on site. No staff members or students were transported to hospitals.
Hey, we're using it as an excuse to get out of school for the day. This is when people start finding excuses.
That's what downtown Minneapolis smells like, doesn't it? Half the year.
In North Dakota, Mike Kohler lined up with thousands of other runners inside the Fargo Dome on Saturday, May 19th, ready for his first half marathon as part of the Sanford Fargo Marathon. Big step for the 26-year-old plumber and pipe fitter from West Fargo. He ran the 10K last year and the 5K the year before. Nervous and tired from waking up earlier than usual, Kohler didn't really pay full attention at the beginning. He thought the full and half marathon started at the same time, 7 in the morning. In reality, the half marathon started 15 minutes later, and he was wearing headphones, so we couldn't hear all the announcements. So when they said go, I went. Just outside the Dome at the intersection, he turned north following the marathon pack.
Sure.
Half marathoners were supposed to go south.
All right.
10 miles in, he figured out he was on the wrong route.
Right.
What did he do?
He finished.
He finished. That's right, Patrick. He said he thought about stopping at 13.1 miles, knowing he'd run as far as he'd aim to. He thought, hey, I'm feeling pretty good. He convinced himself to continue. He did 26.2 miles in 5 hours, 54 minutes, 26 seconds, when the most he'd ever run before was half a marathon, Kenny. Half a marathon, Kenny.
Those North Dakota guys cannot be stopped, Johnny.
That's right. I thought that was a fine
Unstoppable is what you're saying.
I like that story.
Undefeated. Those North Dakota guys.
Right.
That's right.
Undefeated. What's coming up, Patrick?
I have, what is coming up is Kevin Seifert, who has been covering the NFL's fretting about the national anthem for ESPN. We'll talk to him. And Buster Olney we'll talk to about baseball today.
What are you trying to find? College baseball?
Yeah, the Gophers, the Big Ten baseball tournament starts today, and why it's not on. It's 4 games today. I don't know why it wouldn't be on the Big Ten Network. Where the hell else would it be?
Where is it being conducted?
Omaha.
That's where it usually is, isn't it?
Well, that's the College World Series,
That's College
but it's
World
in
Series.
the same stadium. Yes, it is this year. They've supported it rather well since they moved it.
You ever been in that ballpark?
Not the new one.
I haven't been in the new one. I was in
The old one, they say, was fantastic.
Yeah.
I was never there either. So
Yeah.
Yep. Anyway, that's what we got going, sir.
1500 ESPN is KSTP. St. Paul, Minneapolis at 79. The ride is next.
To be your best every day, you need proven quality sleep every night. Science proves your best sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. And that's where the Sleep Number bed comes in. And let me tell you, ever since I've had it, my sleep IQ score is just going higher and higher. And did you know 8 out of 10 couples say that one of them sleeps too hot or too cold? Science tells us regulating your sleep temperature leads to higher quality sleep. For many couples, temperature struggles are a real challenge. So here are some tips to help you both sleep just right. Look for beds designed with temperature benefits, such as the new Sleep Number Climate 360 smart bed that actively warms and cools each side so you both sleep blissfully comfortable. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed, plus special financing for a limited time. Only at Sleep Number stores or sleepnumber.com/podcast1. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the National Football League. Subject to credit approval, minimum monthly payments required. See sleepnumber.com for details.